It's Saturday morning, and I just finished another private lesson, not with Zach. Zach's still out of town, but with Jimmy. Jimmy is a black belt instructor here at Gracie University, and I had the best experience I could have imagined with Jimmy because, well, let me explain exactly what happened. I booked time with Jimmy to see where I'm at regarding the test. I plan on taking the test soon, and I wanted to work through some things to make sure I was on target, to make sure I was dialed in, if you will. And that was my intention. Jimmy had a different intention. Jimmy's intention was to make me better. Jimmy was not so much focused on the test as he was focused on me being the best version of myself that I could be and doing the technique in the best, most efficient, safest way possible. And the reason why I'm saying it that way is because I had a list in my head of a bunch of moves that we were going to run through just to make sure I was on point and I was going to pass my test. And we did that to an extent. But when we did these moves, Jimmy wasn't content to just say, yeah, you got it, pass. He was a professor, surgical with it, okay? He was like, yo, you need to do this. Or it was, I love saying this, I've said this a million times, it was the why behind the what. Why are you doing it this way? Why not do it that way? And some of the things that I do, some of the things I've done, I've relied on my strength and my size. Some of the things I've done, I've modified because of my strength and size. And Jimmy helped me understand how to do it both by the book and also how to do it more efficiently. I guess what I'm saying is get some freaking private lessons. If you can afford it, because it ain't cheap. If you can afford it, I highly freaking recommend that you get a private lesson from, if you can, a black belt. I said this before about my old Keep Showing Up University. I learned so much in my private lessons, and now that I'm here at GU, I didn't really mess with the private lessons until I started thinking about my test. And I sure as hell wasn't thinking about Jimmy because Jimmy doesn't really teach classes. Jimmy pretty much only does private lessons. And I see Jimmy in the private lesson rooms all the time. And I was like, okay, I guess this guy just shows up and does private lessons. And yeah, I guess he does, because Jimmy's a teacher by trade. He's a trained teacher like me. He's an educated, methodical, linear kind of guy like me. And he has these wonderful little things that he calls Jimmyisms, which is funny because when I do my premarital counseling with my wedding couples, I call them Chrisisms. So Jimmy and I had a lot in common. Jimmy has these Jimmyisms where he gives you ideas or key little phrases to remember concepts. And I know I said this in a video before, I don't know which video it was. When I first started Jiu-Jitsu, I thought it was about learning the moves, but as time went on, I learned it wasn't about the moves, it was about the concepts behind the moves. And Jimmy reinforced that, and Jimmy helped me understand that, and Jimmy helped me contextualize that in a way that was easy to understand, easy to remember, that I'll probably carry with me for the rest of my life. As a matter of fact, I told Jimmy in the locker room, I said, hey man, you're not getting rid of me. You're stuck with me now. And I mean that in a joking way, but like in all seriousness, the way that he explained things and the way that he broke things down with his Jimmyisms speaks to my little linear checklist spreadsheet teacher brain. And so I'm gonna try to have like a standing private lesson with Jimmy. Maybe once a month, I guess it depends on my wallet, right? Maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks, whatever. I would like to be able to pick his brain and work with him on whatever the thing is that I'm focused on or that I'm working on, so that I can become the best version of myself. Not just so I can pass the test, but so that I can be the best fighter, enthusiast, trainer, player, whatever you want to call it, I can be. So Jimmy, if you're watching this, and you know what, it's funny, when I make videos and I name people at GU, somehow the video gets back to them. So Jimmy, I imagine you're watching this. Please let me know next time I see you. But thank you. Thank you for taking me out of the check the box mindset and into the self-actualization mindset, the best version of myself, the best jiu-jitsu fighter person that I can be. So that was encouraging. Jimmy did say he thinks I'm going to pass the test, so that's great. But it's not about passing the test. It's more about becoming the best version of myself. So how are you going to become the best version of yourself? Are you going to take a private lesson? Are you going to watch more videos? Are you going to go to class more often? Are you going to lose some weight? Are you going to work out? What is the thing you're working on? Let me know in the comments. What do you think you can do, or what are you currently doing to help yourself get to that next level? Me, I'm working out. I'm in class. I'm taking private lessons. I'm about to take this test. That's what I'm doing, like 10 different things. But let me know what you're doing in the comments, because number one, we're a team. I want to know what's going on with the people who are following me and supporting me, so let me know. And number two, we can steal from each other. We can take these ideas, these concepts, these lessons that we learn, and we can share them with each other, and we can all get better, okay? We all rise together, right? What does it say? A rising tide lifts all ships, I guess. I think that's the saying. I don't know. But enough rambling. I'm going home. It's Saturday morning. I'm not tired, actually. The private lesson wasn't exhausting, but it was educational. And I'm coming back for more next week. So if you made it this far in the video, leave me a comment on what you're working on, or just give me a thumbs up or whatever you want to say or do. But when you get to the end of the video, you know that you got to do 3 things. You know what those 3 things are. You got to stay focused, you got to stay positive, and you always have got to stay vigilant. See you next time.